Hello children. Today we're going to discuss the lesson 5 from your Footprints Without Feet book, and the name of the chapter is Footprints Without Feet, and it is written by H.G. Wells. Wells was a writer of science fiction works including The Time Machine and War of the Worlds. He had a great influence on our vision of the future. He was born in England in 1866. His parents were shopkeepers in Kent, England. His first novel, The Time Machine, was an instant success, and Wells produced a series of science fiction novels which pioneered our ideas of the future. And he died in 1946. Now let's discuss the summary of Footprints Without Feet. There were two boys who were much surprised to see the muddy imprints of a pair of bare feet on the steps of a house in London. The boys got fascinated towards the muddy impressions, but they became fainter and later on disappeared. The obscurity of imprints was very simple. The bewildered boys had been following a scientist who had just discovered how to make the human body transparent. Griffin was an eccentric scientist. He did numerous experiments to prove that human body too could become invisible. He galloped certain rare drugs and his body became as transparent as a sheet of glass. He was a lawless person also. His landlord disliked him, so he set his house on fire in revenge. After burning the house down, Griffin became a homeless wanderer. He had neither money nor clothes. If he wanted himself to be unseen by the people, he had to remove all his clothes. In the midwinter, the air was bitterly cold. It was not possible to live without clothes. Instead of walking around the street, he decided to enter into a big London store for warmth. Griffin broke open boxes and wrappers. He fitted out himself with warm clothes. He wore shoes, an overcoat and a hat. Now he became a fully dressed and visible person. He also took cold meat and coffee and also sweets and wine. Lastly, he slept on a pile of quilts. He did not get up until the assistants of the shop arrived next morning. When they started chasing him, he tried to escape and also became invisible, quickly taking off his clothes. He became naked in chilled January once again. And this time he entered a theatrical company. He hoped to find some clothes. Shivering with cold, he hurried to Drury Lane. It was the center of the theatre world. He soon found a suitable shop. He went upstairs but came out a little later. He was now wearing bandages. Those were round his forehead. He wore dark glasses, false nose, and big bushy side whiskers. He attacked a shopkeeper, then he robbed him of all his money. He then went to Lipping Village from London. There he booked 2 rooms at the local inn belonging to Mrs. Hall. The arrival of a stranger at an inn in winter amazed the villagers. Mrs. Hall, the landlord's wife, wanted to be friendly with him, but he told her that he did not want to be disturbed. He also told her that an accident had affected his face. The stolen money did not last long. He, however, pretended that he was expecting some money at any moment. Shortly afterwards, a curious episode occurred. Griffin had made himself invisible. He entered a priest's house. The priest awoke and he asked him to surrender. But he could see no one. He realized the room was empty, yet the desk had been opened and the money was missing. It was extraordinary for the priest. The landlord and his wife, Mrs. Hall, were up very early. They were surprised to see the scientist's door wide open. They peeped around but saw nobody. Clothes, bandages, etc. were in the room. Everything was in disorder. All of a sudden, Mrs. Hall heard a sniff close to his ear. Then the bedpost leaped up. It dashed itself into her face. Both of them turned away in terror. A chair pushed both out of the room. Mrs. Hall almost fell down crying. She felt sure that the room was haunted by spirits. Soon the burglary in the priest house became known. The strange scientist was suspected of having a hand in it. The suspicion became stronger as he produced ready cash. Earlier he had admitted of not having any. The village constable was secretly called, but Mrs. Hall did not wait for the constable. She went to the scientist. She asked him what he had been doing to her chair upstairs. She wanted to know how he had entered a locked room. At this, the scientist grew angry. He suddenly shouted at her. He then threw off bandages, spectacles, nose, etc. He had become invisible. The horrified people now saw at a headless person. Mr. Jeffers, the constable, arrived. He was surprised that he had to arrest a man without a head, but he had to arrest him in any case. So he tried to catch the scientist, but he was throwing off one garment after another. The constable found himself struggling with someone he could not see at all. Some people tried to help him, but they received blows only from invisible Griffin. And in the end, Jeffers became unconscious. There were cries of "hold him," but Griffin had freed himself. No one knew where to lay hand on him. So, this was the summary of Footprints Without Feet. I hope you understood the chapter very well. And now, when you look at the exercise of this lesson, it will be very easy for you to do them all.